Hello, Lisa. Much gratitude to what you are doing. Please, can you make some comments about the new situation on Earth, such as war, fire, on and on? It's hard for me not to think about it. Well, firstly, do not watch the news. Do not watch the news. There's so many beautiful things happening on this planet that aren't reported on the news. The news is just like doom and gloom and doom and gloom and doom and gloom. It's like a really sick mentality, the news. It's like basically what we're going to do is we're going to go around the planet and we're going to report all the bad things that happen, and we're going to call that the 6 o'clock news. Dum 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 boom. And there's so many beautiful things. I remember for a while, oh yeah, and on Facebook I think you see it as well. Like, unsubscribe to all these dark channels. Like, you can maybe listen once a week to some of it, but there's also beautiful things happening. I remember once when I was on Facebook, I don't really go on so much, but when I was, I like subscribed to the good news, because there's so many beautiful things that happen. It's like a mentality, and fear sells. So that's how it's manifested. It's not dark and bad, but if they put fearful things on the news and dark things on the news, then it sells, because everyone's like, oh! So don't listen to it. I'm thinking of Trump and what he is doing and goodwill. Okay, yeah, I know Trump's done some terrible things, like he did that in the Middle East. I suspect he did it. I only heard it briefly. I didn't really watch much of it, but I heard it when I was coming into the room when my mum had the news on. And just what I would say about it is, I suspect that what America's doing is manipulating the stock market, and I suspect that we really, as bystanders, don't understand it at all. What's happening? It's way bigger than what we can understand. So even though the Iranian are reporting back and really angry with the American, it could all be that they're conspiring to manipulate the stock markets at both sides. Like, I just wouldn't trust it at all. They could even be in a pact, conspiracy, like they using that, and then, you know, there's nothing better for the economy than war. I know that sounds terrible, but I think that's not truthful, because nothing can be truthful, but it's nearer to the truth maybe than that Trump has done this and attacked Iran. I mean, he has, but we don't know the background to it and what's happening on the stock market and economy. I just wouldn't trust the news. Could be that, like, it's all hoax. Like, my mum went to China recently, and she was telling me about how in this big square there was this big massacre by the Chinese government, and the Chinese don't know about it because the government covered it all up and then told Chinese people different story, and then all the people that were there were so terrified of the Chinese government they never told anyone. So the younger generation, even though it only happened in 1989, the younger generation think it was an accident, or they think it was conspiracy and it didn't really happen. Whereas the rest of the world has footage of it happening. I mean, I don't know, the footage could be manipulated. But basically, like, I wouldn't trust what your government's telling you. Like, politics is politics. Like, the media doesn't tell the truth. The media is being controlled by politics. That's why you have left and right papers. So whatever paper that you read or whatever news station, it's being controlled by money, by people that are putting money into it to tell a story from a particular angle. So they're telling the story from a left or a right perspective. So, but okay, but even so, say if we do go into war, if there is a big war, maybe we wipe ourselves out. maybe there's terrible things that happen. And that's the way of it. It also happens all the time in nature with thunderstorms or lightning or hurricanes. It's happening. It doesn't need to happen, but we've got it coming in a way. We've got to face these things because we've got this problem of global warming. So there is going to be some form of falling out. Like, I'm in London at the moment, and yesterday when I was my mum actually lives a bit outside London, but yesterday when I went into London, I was wearing a light jacket and I was warm at points. And when I lived in London 10 years, I never remember being in January being able to wear a light jacket around London. It's beyond being a coincidence. We can all see it so drastically. But whatever comes is the perfect play of things. It doesn't mean that you don't, if you have the urge to protest, that you don't protest, that you don't do political actions. But in the end, it's the play of life. And it's the perfect play, however it happens. And we don't know the grand scheme of things or the grand play out. I mean, it could be that that's the big finale in all of our dreams. Like war is the big finale, which really like implodes the dream. You don't know the reason or the cause or what's happening. Like, to really be able to stand and see through war that it's illusion. When the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, Maya, illusion, presented heaven and hell. And the way that Maya presented heaven and hell was through war, through sexuality, through virgins, through torture, through disease, through famine, through destruction. It's seeing all of its illusion. It's not true, it's not true, it's not true. It's a war to the dog, to the wind, to the bird. Thank you for your question, Marie. And I apologise for what Trump did. I know that he's American and not English, but I apologise. America came from England, and I kind of feel very connected to America, and it's like a Western mentality, and England is very, very much following the footsteps of Trump, and I apologise for that mentality. If you are Iranian, you look like you might be. I am originally Iranian, but been in the UK for the last 19 years. How nice. Yes, I'm sorry for what Trump did to Iran. I also know that it's way beyond me being able to understand politics. There's so much that's happening behind the scenes.